What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, it is the 4th day of October. Here we are sitting at about 122.35K. 9 hours, 28 minutes left in the day. Volume is increasing day by day as we're moving up. No volume here today, and that's okay because it's Saturday, right? Saturday, and then tomorrow's Sunday. It's the weekend. It's very possible that we don't do anything over the weekend. I mean, if we look at this here, let's actually just analyze what we've done every single Saturday, really, since we've been up in this area to begin with. That'd be this day here. I believe predominantly Saturdays are red, right? Notice this: red, red, green, red, red, neutral. We're going to call that neutral. 0.03% to the upside. Red, green, red, red, green, neutral again, neutral, and now potentially green or red, right? I feel like most of it's red or neutral. Some of them are neutral or green, right? It's very possible that we do have a green Saturday today, but even if we have a red Saturday, I don't expect this to hold us back. Sundays, on the other hand, have actually been pretty productive. We look at Sunday here, green Sunday. This was a red Sunday, green, red, green, 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 neutral, red, red, green, red, red, green. Pretty 50-50 actually. But when Sunday is green, typically we get some decent movements. We get some pretty damn decent movements. Not to mention Sunday, green Sunday is what kicked off this move overall. A good bit of these Sundays, especially in the first half of this consolidation phase overall, once they were green, that implied a red Monday or a selling off on Monday. That's what we got typically. Not here, though. I'm wondering if we'll continue upwards. And again, my thought here is that these gaps, the Bitcoin CME gaps, they're not going to fill, and that over the weekend will continue to grow. We'll form another gap here, however large it might be. And it'll be another gap that doesn't fill. There are genuinely people at the top here right now that think we're going to reject here and that we're going to go down. And their secret sauce is the CME gaps. They think they know something because of the CME gaps. But the thing is we know there are CME gaps left behind that will never be filled. They never will be. They never ever will be. And just as these ones, right? That they just never will be. It's very likely that we do continue going higher. And for that reason, I think it makes total sense that over the weekend we'd move up a little bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if Saturday was a bit of a no-nothing day, right? Saturdays aren't really the most exciting days. Typically. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll see if we can derive any kind of information that might suggest a pump by the end of the day or a dump by the end of the day. But let's look at that here. What did I want to look at before we got into this? What was it? It was, oh, right, it was this, the Bitcoin liquidations. Let's refresh this. I want to see, have the shorts gone up, have the longs come down? It is the weekend, so I'm sure they've both come down, actually. Let's see. Oh, my God. You guys got to stop. You guys got to stop. It's the weekend. What are you doing? You guys, we have $3 billion in shorts, and we're at the top. You think we're going to... I've never seen a top where the short to long ratio in a 24-hour period looked like this. No. Maybe after we've moved down a good bit. Oh, man. If you're going to keep shorting, we're going to keep pumping. That's what's going to happen. 7 days, longs definitely have it. 30 days, longs definitely have it. How many longs are there? There's almost $20 billion in longs. That's a lot. To put that in perspective, the last time that we saw about $20 billion in shorts was down here. And then we moved up. So we might have some turbulence coming our way, but I don't think it starts here. I think what's going to happen is we're going to move up. We're going to stop at one of two places, okay? And I'll illustrate those now. We're going to stop either at 126,000, somewhere around there, or 129,000. Let's just call it 130,000. So let's even call this 127,000 because it's close enough. 127 to 130,000. That's where we're going to go. Somewhere in that range. And then at that point, I think we'll see the longs start to clear out, because from there we'll probably come back down a little bit, a solid bit. That'll shake out the longs, pile on the shorts, and then we'll continue to drive higher. That's my thoughts. Let's look at this on a 1 hour time frame. Man, you guys are crazy. If you're watching this video and you're currently in a short position on Bitcoin, I just have to say before it happens, my condolences, bro. It's not a good position to be in right now. Short sellers are desperate. Tell me otherwise. Tell me, this is how we know it's true. If you are a short seller right now, ask yourself, am I desperate? Am I shorting from a position of strength? Do I feel confident in this, or do I feel like desperate? Is desperate the right word? If that's the right word, you know that you're doing it wrong, man. Just step back. Stop leverage trading. 1 hour time frame here. Looking at the RSI, bouncing off the 50. Overall, very positive. Overall, the very positive looking RSI. Living above the 50. You see here where you were living below the 50? You see that? Let's see what we were doing back here and then compare it to living above the 50 land, okay? We're gonna go back here. Living below the 50 land. What were we doing? Oh, look at that. We were moving down. We were like moving down, and then we'd move flat, and then we'd move down, and then we'd move flat, and then we'd move down, and then we'd move flat, right? Then we started getting to above the 50 land. So what do we do? Well, we moved up, we moved flat, we moved up, 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 up. We're moving flat. What comes next? I can only imagine. The MACD is bullish overall. Yes, there's bearish momentum being built, but you have lower lows in your oscillators, lower lows in your histogram, and you have higher lows in the price. It's hidden bullish divergence. Same thing in the RSI, same thing in the stochastics. Bullish overall on all accounts. Nothing is wrong. You know, the stochastics might be your most bearish case, and even they're bullish. 4 hour time frame here. Very bullish stochastics. Very bullish RSI. But there's bearish divergence. Okay, maybe. Maybe there's bearish divergence. There's also some bearish divergence on the MACD, but the thing is, you get 1, 2, 3 drives of bearish divergence. That's normally the maximum of it. If you don't make a move down here, you're just going to keep moving up. With the RSI, you have more of a point here because you have lower highs here and you have higher highs here. So maybe we do pull back down to 121. Maybe we do move down about $1,000, but how many more shorts are going to pile on to fuel the fire at that point, man? You guys are fueling the fire when we're at the highs, let alone if we actually drop $1,000. You are going to go ballistic with these shorts, and the longs will probably back off too. That's only going to fuel the fire to the upside. We are, with this candle, 1 hour, 21 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. We are crossing red. You've been green for a solid bit, and you do have bearish divergence. You do have bearish divergence on the RSI. Overall, all these indicators are very bullish, but let's be fair. They're all expressing the desire, I think, for a little bit of a cool-off. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's call for that. Let's call for a little bit of a cool-off. Let's say your divergence started here. You're probably going to go just below that level. You're probably not going to bounce right off of it. Let's say you find support somewhere in this range. Would that make sense? Maybe. Let's see if it does. Let's take a high to a low, and you'll see that you're rejecting your golden ratio. So you likely would come back down to your 1272 to find support. It's perfect, right within that range. Could we go lower? I presume it's possible, right? 118K could happen. I assume it's possible. I don't really see it happening though. I mean, it could happen. The one thing that could validate that is that there are a ton of longs. There are a ton of longs. If we move down to 118K, 117K, we would clear out about $4 billion, almost $5 billion worth. So just across 3 exchanges, let alone the rest of the market. And if it happened really fast too, oh, that would be awesome. Like, imagine Bitcoin just 1 hour just tanks. Man, that would be a long stop hunt for sure. That'd be my thoughts, okay? If we go below this area, if we do go below 120K, it's going to be because it's a very quick drop. It's going to be a straight line down, and then we'll just recover. We will immediately recover and continue to move up. It'll be something like that. But if we don't see something like that, then likely we will find support somewhere between 121 to 120,000. My bet's on 120.6K specifically. And then we'll continue to move up. Then we'll continue to rally, inevitably going to that 127 to 130K area. And that is the zone at which I expect we'll actually find some turbulence, where we actually will consolidate for maybe more than just a day, but not too long. We're in movement time, guys. We're going to move. I mean, maybe we consolidate for a week. Maybe we even consolidate a little bit more. But once we get up to this area, right, we'll consolidate for a little bit, and then we'll continue to rally. Like, Next week we're going to continue to rally. The following week we're going to continue to rally. We're only going to. It's only green weeks from here until the end of the year, man. It's going to be fantastic. There will be red weeks, of course there will be. I'm being facetious, but anyways, very big week here. Very, very big weekly candle. That's actually the largest weekly candle we've seen since May. We have not had a larger weekly candle than this since May, to the upside or to the downside. And we still have 1 day and 10 hours left. We'll see how it goes. We could definitely, with the Sunday pump dynamic, we could absolutely move up and close this week even bigger. Closing here will be the highest weekly close that Bitcoin has ever had. This will be a new all-time high for weekly closes. So we've got a lot of good things going on. Daily time frame. The RSI has gotten overbought. You failed to get oversold all these times, but you didn't fail to get overbought. Clearly, very neutral, right? Going in between both, very volatile, but clearly in a more bullish posturing than a bearish posturing at the moment. Stochastics are bullish, and the MACD bouncing off the zero is also bullish, very bullish. Weekly time frame. What's great about this, okay, is that the MACD, if we look at this every single time, this will really show that something different is going on here, you guys. Something absolutely different is going on compared to the rest of the market. Notice how, if you guys hear anything, it's raining outside. Notice how here, this is the beginning of the market right here, the bull market right here. This was our first red cross on the MACD in this bull market. It was right here on this week. We did not break out until 19 weeks later. 19 weeks we did not break out. We were in an overall consolidation phase that lasted 31 weeks. But from that week of the red cross, we did not break out for 19 weeks. Whenever we crossed red here on the MACD, we did not break out, I mean really, for about 27 weeks. We moved up higher, but we were consolidating in an overall range for about 35 weeks again. But we did not break out for 27 weeks. When we crossed red here, we didn't break out really for about 11 weeks. I mean, maybe we're in the same zone overall, I don't know, but for about 11 weeks there. As of now, we've been consolidating, or we've been still consolidating for about 4 weeks, and we've started to break out on the 5th week. You see the difference, right? Even on the shortest one, this one's less than half. If this move persists, and I think it will, it's doing something different. We are showing strength in a moment where we have continued to show stagnation and weakness throughout this market. Whenever the weekly MACD crosses red, we're showing strength here a lot earlier than anything else. This goes hand in hand with my theory, this theory that we had back here even, which was wrong, but it's probably going to be right this time around, is that this next move will be the biggest move we've seen this whole bull market. And what do I mean by that? Going back again, you had a little move here, then you consolidated for like a month and a half or two. You had a little move here, then you consolidated for like 3 or 4 months. You had a nice move here. Let's say the move started here, sure, right up to there, boom, not a bad move. And then you consolidated for about 2 months. You had another move here, okay, and then your biggest move, which debatably I would say started here or here. Where would it have started? I suppose it started here. Like, just looking at it, I would think that it started here, because 2 weeks consolidation, that's not a whole lot, and then that's your biggest move so far. I'm assuming we're going to get a bigger move than anything we've seen this cycle so far. And from that low to high, that put us above $200,000. This would take us into the beginning of January, though. So I think we'll see a larger move than that in a shorter amount of time. I think we'll be above or around this price probably in December, but we'll see. But it'll be the biggest move of the cycle so far, and by the end of the month of October, we could very well be at 180K. Consolidate for a little bit, and then continue to rally. Consolidate and then continue. But no month-long consolidations, nothing like that. We'll see. And if it's not the biggest move of the cycle, it will definitely be one of, if not the second biggest move of the cycle so far. Anyways, weekly time frame, weekly RSIs bouncing off the 50. We're looking good here. Stochastics are looking good as well, looking very, very good, bouncing off the 50. And the MACD, of course, not looking good, but we're doing good things in the face of danger, and that is a good thing in itself. The monthly time frame is unstoppable. You guys, we're going, you know what we're doing here, right? What we're doing on this attempt? We're going all the way up here. For anybody that's watching this, we've talked about this time and time again throughout this cycle, but we're going to talk about it right now real quick. we're going to go all the way up here. We're probably going to get there in December or January at this point, okay? When Bitcoin moves up all the way up to this trend line that we've hit every single cycle, when Bitcoin moves up above 90, like it has every single cycle, we get above that point. It's probably going to take a couple of months. And by this, I mean it could be December or January. And then once we hit there in December or January, guess what? That's not the end of the cycle. Not financialized, not a financializer, but we've had two peaks, two peaks, two peaks, one, two peaks every cycle since inception. And the second peak, it's the second peak every time that our all-time high is on. Every single time. You can check this yourself. I'm not going to bore you and do this again. I'm sure a lot of you already are aware of this because we go over it all the time. So why is that important? Two peaks, it's the second peak that the all-time high comes in. The first peak will be in December or January. That means what? We're probably going to have months of bull cycle going into 2026. Undoubtedly so. You look at the RSI, this is a more bullish posturing here than we've ever had before. This was very, very bullish. That's very, very bullish. That's awesome. This is very tenacious, nice move up. This was just erratic, straight to the moon, beautiful. But you didn't have that bounce off the overbought zone, right? You had that less bullish finish because of it. This is a winding up. Man, if we were looking at any time frame, this is a winding up. I would, without a question, without a doubt in my head, I don't care if you're on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the monthly time frame, this is setting you up to go above the 90. And I'm theorizing this, okay? This is something new. I've never said this before in the history of this channel. I've never once said what I'm about to say right now, okay? We very well could go above this line, this cycle. This could be the first cycle that we actually see a reading above this line. I still expect the dynamic to be the same, but I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we did see a reading above this line. I wouldn't. We'll see. Time will tell. But maybe perhaps we stop right at that line. Maybe even on the flip side of that, maybe we stop just below the line. Either way, I would count that kind of reaction as a touch point there. Understand, going forward, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but that's a touch point. That's a touch point. It doesn't have to be right on the line. Just something in that area, that general area. But we're going to get two peaks. And they're going to be months apart, separated. Anyways, 122.2K now. We have the prospects of going down to 118K at the lowest. We likely do find support around 121.6K, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's 121.6K. Let's actually look at that again real quick. Where the 1272 is of this Fibonacci extension. 120.6K. We'll likely hold 120K. Find support there at the 1272, right? Which is directly in line with this area of resistance back here. It's perfect. Stair step and then launch. And that's probably what's going to happen. Lowest that I see is going to is about 118, 117K. If that happens, it'd be very fast. It'd be super fast. The sky's going to be falling. All the bulls are going to shut up. And all the bears are going to be super loud. And then we'll start to rally back up. And then the bulls will probably only get loud once we're actually at new all-time highs. But I do expect October to be a fantastic month. I don't really have anything else that I want to say, so I'm going to end the video there. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going to do the thing that I normally do, which is add on a little bit of extra something just to check. Okay, yeah, we went over all this yesterday. We're fine. Nothing to see here. All right, take care. Bye-bye.